If you know, Sujata, there is a concept of death cafe. That means
Okay.
this go in a cafe, have a cup of coffee or tea, discuss about death. Maybe there were three,
Oh,
four, five, 10 people around.
that's
Nowadays, there
brilliant.
it is.
Wow.
Yeah, nowadays it is online also. Mortality paradox. That is a model. Mortality paradox. Freud has stated it that we know we are dying, but we are not ready to accept it. That is first thing. And secondly, we do not imagine the world after my death. We are afraid of that.
Hmm.
That I am not there and the world is still there.
No, in India,
Is
for example, in our cultures, if somebody is older, the way we show respect is you sit down. There's no need for you to move. I'll carry your bags. And I think in many ways we are actually diminishing their abilities by
yeah,
doing
true,
that.
true.
Hmm.
Till I am able to contribute, I will have growth. I will cook food for others. Why not? Suppose I'm 70, 75, 80. I can cook food, I can wash this, and so I'm
Hmm.
still in growth ashram. But
Okay.
when I'm not, my hand is streaming like this. I forget where the things are kept. I don't know what the test is expected. For that test, I am not able to cook. If I realize, then I should enter into vanaprasthashram.
Dr. Vanita Patwardhan is a distinguished psychologist, educator, and corporate advisor whose career at the Prabodhini Institute of Psychology in Pune has made a lasting impact on research, teaching, and social development. She has helped several people through her workshops, mentorship, and several publications. In this episode, Dr. Patwardhan explores the radiance of seniors, celebrating the wisdom, positivity, and leadership that elders can contribute to families and society. She also addresses the challenges seniors face. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Cafe Rainy Days. Globally, we as a population, as humanity, we are aging more and more. It's becoming a challenge for nations. It's becoming an economic challenge for caregiving. But in general, I've got some statistics with me, just a couple of statistics. In 2030, globally, 1 in 6 people will be over 60. At the moment in England, where I am, 38% of the population in England is over 50 years of age. And the life expectancy globally is 73.3 years. So, as you can see, we are an aging population. It comes with challenges, but it also comes with the wisdom of age. And to talk about this topic, we have a perfect person with us. We have with us Professor Dr. Vanita Patwardhan. Uh,
Namaste.
Namaste, namaste. Welcome to the channel. Vanita ji is very, very senior in terms of experience, a very senior psychologist. She's worked very closely in education. She's also worked very closely with corporate. She's associated with hospitals. However, today, like I introduced us in the topic, I would like to talk about our latter years of life. So we're going to concentrate on that. So let's jump straight in, Vanita Tai. What is old age? Is there a definition? Is it, if I'm feeling old in my 30s, am I old? Over to you.
Yeah. Thank you, Sujata, for apt introduction and giving this opportunity for me to connect with many people through your channel. Thank you so much. As you told, the real statistics in UK, really the world is getting a little bit old in that sense of the term. And the political and the social definition of old age is 60 plus. And again, nowadays, as you told, that we are having more span of old age, because 73, beyond 73, many of us are living nicely, healthily. So from 60 to nearly 74, we can call it as new old. Okay. Then from 75 to 90, old. And after 90, 90 plus, very old. Yeah, old, something like that. So if you have these three categories in front of us, we can relate our talk to these categories in a different way because they have different radiance, strengths, different needs, different challenges. So that is there. That is one point. Secondly, so this is for our law purpose and execution and government. This is there. 60 plus. That is the chronological or physiological age. But then there are many dimensions. I will just let you know about two dimensions. Okay. My chronological age, for example, really it is 75. I'm approaching 75. But what do I feel my age is? That may not be 75. For example, I really feel that I'm about 70. That's all. Okay. And maybe people around may thinking of myself as about me, Vanita, as maybe she's 65, or some may think, oh, she's so frail in her body. Some may think that, oh, she's 80. One is chronological age. Second one is what do I feel myself? And third is what do I feel or I guess that others are feeling about me. I may give that exercise to you also. Okay, for me, I told that 75 is my chronological. I feel I am 70. Okay, and my friends and my family members, they feel that, oh, you are 72. So these are three different numbers. Would you like to tell about you also, these three numbers?
Yeah, sure. So my chronological age is 56.
Okay.
I I I don't think I feel any older than 40. I think I stopped aging after 40 in my mind. Aches and pains remind me of it sometimes that no, I am perhaps 50.
That's good.
And what others feel, I don't really know. I don't know.
You just need to guess it.
I think people definitely feel that I'm over 50 when they, yeah, I think so. Yeah.
But I feel you are 45.
Okay.
So this way is the second way of looking at the age. Okay. Then the third way. Emotionally, if I'm strong enough at the age of 90 and others seek support from me also at the age of 90, then my emotional age may be 50 or 60. Okay. My social age. So if I'm social and having friends and family together and this and that, okay, so I'm 60, 65. But I'm lonely, alone. I have the feeling of loneliness in my mind. Okay, then maybe I may be 95. So this is emotional, social. And lastly, the functional age. So some people are having some problems at the age of 70 and they cannot move freely. Though they are emotionally, due to many things, they are not able to, they are dependent on their daily living also. So functionally, their age may be 100 years. Emotionally, they are 60 years. These are the different ways to look at the age. They are the numbers, but they mean a lot. So the three ways: chronological, that is government purpose and law purpose. Secondly, what do we feel, what others feel. And thirdly, the categorization: emotional, social, functional, that way. And this way, all the anthropologists, medical professionals, social workers, psychologists, sociologists, gerontologists, they go on looking at old people from different perspectives. And they try to gauge what are the needs of this client.
You can also see, especially in the West, there's everything is so commercially focused that you can see certain products that are sort of geared towards elderly, or if, of course, with all these smart devices around us, you just have to Google search something like a frame, a walking frame, and you straight away start getting ads of stair lifts and all sorts. So we are also, if I count myself as elderly and going towards that direction, we are also a big chunk who can make a difference from the point of view of commerce. We're a big market. So I was reading somewhere in preparation for this. I was listening to some YouTube news, and they said that at least in the UK, the maximum people who turn out to vote are the elderly. So we are also a big population which can, we can really make a difference because we go and vote. But I'm going to come personally towards you. Vanita Tai has written several books, out of which three are specifically age related. And of course, as a profession, you are a psychologist. Why is a psychologist interested in old age, and what prompted you to write about this phase of life, and why can psychology help?
I need to speak about my interest in this
Yes, please.
topic. Yeah. So there is a branch in psychology, developmental psychology, which studies the human being right from the womb of the mother, right from the moment of conception till death, maybe a little after death also. Okay. So there are stages of development. Maybe infant, childhood, young age, adolescent, young age, adulthood, later adulthood, old age, and later old age, so on and so forth. At every stage, we call it as developmental stages. And at every stage, there are different areas of human beings. Physiological is there a little bit. Psychologists also study physiology. Then the emotional status, then the social, family related, career oriented, educational, intellectual, spiritual. So, all these are the areas at every stage of development. They are studied by the psychologists. So many theories, models are there. Research is going on. Based on that, the counseling is also there. And those are the takeaways for the education is for the social workers, for the medical persons also. So, some 15 years ago, one of my friend from Goa, Ananda Vacha Sundar, they have Anagha Vacha Sundar Trust, and they thought that they should write down some books along counseling. And our team of psychologists decided that the counseling, it shouldn't be theory or textbook. So let us discuss some about sessions, different areas of counseling at particular developmental stage. So the first book was about the right from the birth to childhood. Ranga Samupadeshana, there were in Marathi, and many psychologists participated. We actually wrote the counseling cases. The second one was Tarunyatun Praudhatwakade. So adulthood, so many problems, how to deal with them. The counseling sessions, they were described by again by 8 or 9 psychologists. And then the third one, I promised him, Anandaji, that I will write down something about old age also. And I had to. During the COVID period, I had a lot of time and I thought that, oh, my promises I need to complete. I don't know how long I will live. So that was published. Second edition was there. And then there was demand to translate it in English. So the third book, Krutartha Vardhakya, and then it was translated in English as Aging Gracefully. And very good response to these. Actually, they are not quite interesting to read like a novel. I'm not that sort of writer. But then all sorts of applications, the research orientations, and different terminologies also, which are used in developmental psychology, they are there. So one takes a time to read these books, really speaking, but whatever points you discuss, you will find the discussion in that book. So proudly, I would say that is there. And the last book also I published few months ago. It is in Marathi about Dekhana Dehanta To Jo. That means dignity in dying at death. So that also got overwhelming performance. That was a surprise to me. So that's why this is the last and last but one developmental stage. That's why I turned to that. And second reason, I'm also there. So let me know myself more and more when I study all these things.
Beautiful, beautiful. Ideally, I should talk about death last, but I would still like to talk about it now because I remember the question. You've written a whole book about Dekhana Dehanta To. I feel that as a society, any society, not just in India or in England, but anywhere, it's a very awkward topic. How important is conversation? How do you tackle it? That dignity, exactly what you're talking about, dignity in death. What sort of discussion should you have around an elderly person about death? And secondly, how do you tackle them?
If you know, Sujata, there is a concept of death cafe. Some
Oh,
20 years ago it launched, and in India also, in Maharashtra, slowly it is upcoming. That means
okay.
this go in a cafe, have a cup of coffee or tea, discuss about death. Maybe there were three,
Oh,
four, five, 10 people around.
that's
Nowadays there
brilliant.
it is,
Wow.
yeah. Nowadays it is online also, and this concept has started in India a little bit, very slowly, very few incidences. And I told you, my book I had during 6 months at least 15 sessions in group lectures and talks
Wow.
about this. That is surprising. So you said that yes, this is very awkward to talk about that, but then we need to speak about that.
Hmm.
Okay. So when we are old, what happens? We are afraid of that moment. The old people, actually everyone, and that is a paradox. It is called as mortality paradox. That is a model mortality paradox. Freud has stated it that we know we are dying, but we are not ready to accept it. That is first thing. And secondly, we do not imagine the world after my death. We are
Hmm.
not ready for that. We are afraid of that.
Hmm.
That I am not there and the world is still there. We are not ready to, because we have fear and threat in our mind. And why
And
is it
also
that?
because throughout our lives, we are looking at everything from our perspective. So once we are gone, the perspective
On to,
disappears.
yeah, yeah. But we should
Sorry.
accept that yes, the world will be there. Hmm? And we don't know what will happen after death about me. And
Ah,
that threatens us.
hmm.
That really threatens us. What
Unknown.
will be that moment? And everyone knows that moment, everyone is the lonely person. All the journey or the moment we have to experience is the one single person. So many people may be around, loved ones, but the experience is the one person.
Hmm.
We can hold the hands, but still the experience will be that person. And
Hmm.
that's why we are afraid to pave the path alone. But then nowadays, so many movements are there about maybe organ donation,
Hmm.
okay, making living will,
Yeah.
and these are the points where the caregivers can have a small talk with the elderly person. The point is, those who are the caregivers around the old people,
Hmm.
they are they having unanimity of opinion in themselves. Suppose two children, three children, and
Yeah.
maybe daughter-in-law or someone that is there, and how far we are having good communication with our elderly person. Especially I give the advice, when we celebrate the birthday of
Hmm.
any person, maybe you, me, or anyone of the elderly person, before the celebration of 1 week, we should spend for retrospection.
Hmm.
What were the good things, strong points? What did I do? How did I fail? What I need to improve? And then plan ahead for the next maybe 2 years, 3 years, whatever it may be. Maybe the age is 10 years. Someone is 10-year old, small child, 20 years, 50 years, 90 years, whatever it may be. But if
Hmm.
we have the habit that spending a few days before the celebration of birthday in retrospection and planning ahead,
Hmm.
then the communication will be smooth.
Hmm.
So it is not only for the old people. It is necessary for everyone.
Hmm.
So smoothly we can enter into the talk with our elderly person in what sort of arrangements and planning and care should be given
Hmm.
when totally the person is dependent or
Hmm.
maybe on the deathbed.
Gone are the days when you would think of an old ajibai sitting in a corner or an old ajoba sitting in a corner and just basically being forgotten. A filmy old age poor woman or man in the household forgotten about and having no space, having no role. in the household. Gone are the days simply because we are leading healthier, we are aging, but we are healthier with all the medicines and vaccinations, etc. And the paradox already is there that although 60 plus is supposed to be old, here in the UK, for example, I will not retire till I'm 67. There are these few challenges that are very obvious, like I'm going to get old, I will get ill. I'm going to get very old. What happens with my care? Will I move into a nursing home? These sort of challenges are quite obvious. But for you and, with your experience and the books that you've written, what are the challenges that we should consider that are obvious and not obvious, both?
Let me just go ahead with some strengths, radiance of old people first. Shall we? And then we'll go for the
Good idea, yeah.
challenges. Because the challenges are, as I think, they are there and we realize them. Okay. But we may not realize what are the strengths and what is the radiance of old people. Okay. The first one is the experience. Because the people are old, they have been working, maybe they have not, the many women are the homemakers. They may not have served in any bank or institute or here and there. As homemakers, they are very well experienced. So old people should know that yes, I'm experienced. I have done a lot throughout the 70, 80, 90 years. Why should I deny that? That needs to build the confidence in oneself. Yes, I am there. You may say that, oh, the young people do not need any sort of advice. They don't want to build on the experience of the old people. True. Let them not ask any advice, but we are there. That is one thing. Second thing, when such a bulk of population is there, all the scientists, okay, the psychologists, social workers, as I told you, then sociologists, even medical professional, legal profession, anthropologists, they are taking so many things from these population, and based on that, they can form some hypothesis, they can form some judgments. What will happen to the young people who are at the age of 50, who are at the age of 40, 30, what will happen with them after 30 years? Genetically, environmentally, socially, emotionally. So, these old people are just like lampposts. This population, you can just observe, study them. How did they become old and what happened to them? So,
That's where all this study about blue zones comes from, for example,
yeah,
isn't it? That
yeah,
what sort of populations are living older and what are their lifestyles, and that's where we are learning how to
yeah,
live
yeah, yeah.
healthy lives.
And
Sorry, yeah.
yeah, where the concept of ikigai crept in.
Yes,
So, what
yes.
is the value of life? So they know how to live, why to live, and that too positively and till the age of 70, 80. So all the learnings are there for all the population below that. And even in Eastern cultures, we go on having respect with the old people, is it not? You told that some old people are neglected here and there. Okay, that is also a fact. These are also truths. But at that point, the old people also are responsible. They should make themselves useful as far as possible. Are they making themselves useful to others in some way or the other? Are they contributing a little? I'll give you a small example. Suppose I'm an old lady living in a flat and I have 3, 4 keys at my home. So someone comes, oh, give me the keys, they will take away and I'll look after them. Very small support, very small thing I'm contributing to the 2, 3
Like the
neighborhood.
caretaker for so many people. You're the
Maybe,
yeah.
maybe the key is not asked for every day, but the family knows, oh, the Ajibai ke paas chabi hai. Very small contribution. Am I doing that?
I was just going to add another example. You will find, especially in Indian weddings, there's always the Ajibai, grandmother, Dadima, sitting with everybody has their purses and jewelry, and because they know the Aji is going to sit in one place, not move, and she will look after everybody's jewelry or the bride's jewelry, all that sort of stuff is always given to Aji to look after. So, and you're right. So it's not just society viewing at you as useful, but you yourself, knowing yourself.
That is more
Mm,
important. The
mm,
aji like that, the grandma, she will have the keen
mm,
observation and
mm,
look at everyone, and
mm,
that is respected. How am I looking to myself?
mm,
Do I know myself?
mm.
So
Yeah.
knowing oneself, that is a good big task.
Mm,
And we psychologists go on telling everyone, it may be a child, it may be young people, it may be old people, know
mm.
yourself thoroughly. And this is a continuous process.
It never
So,
happens.
what are my attitudes, my emotions, my interests, my intellectual capacity, my thinking, my needs, how I'm socially connected, not connected, what is my nature. So, if we start knowing oneself more
Mm,
and more, then the challenges, whatever the challenges are there at old age, we know them, we can plan them ahead.
mm,
So, you asked about the challenges. Health challenge is the prime one,
mm,
one after another. Every organ fails, so I have
mm,
maybe specs, then I will have a stick, and then I will replace my kidney and replace
mm,
my knees. So all
mm,
health challenges are there. For that
mm,
matter, we need to exercise, have good food, have good sleep. So these are
mm,
the well-known things. I
mm.
should
We also need to
next.
have an acceptance of some sort, isn't it? Because you always feel that, oh, that's not going to happen to me. But there's also that fear that, oh, everybody's aware that could very well happen to you.
And we can read ourselves. What was the thing with my parents, my father,
Mm,
mother, my aunties? What are the things happened with my siblings? That may happen with me also.
mm,
So reading one's health is also important.
mm,
So health challenges is there, psychological, that is emotional challenges is there. Anytime we may feel depressed, that is very common. Even 10-year-old child also may feel angry, may depressed, may be fearful. All these things go on happening. But for old people, that may be intense, that may be frequent, and that may stay a longer time because the age itself calls for some such feelings. So one should be aware about them. So that is the challenges. And
mm,
feeling of loneliness. So that is the emotional. Social challenge.
mm,
I may look down myself. Inferiority complex. I'm of
mm,
no use. Some way or the other, I am useful. Okay. If you think the universe, if you think all the population on the earth, even all the living beings, the animals, trees, and everything. So I am a small drop of life. I am.
mm,
I'm a very small, tiny drop, but I am. Somewhere or the other, my contribution is there. I have left something, some tradition.
mm,
So if we feel like that,
mm,
in relation to all the canvas and all the universe, so then we feel that yes, I am important. So
mm,
that is the one way looking in about oneself.
mm,
And what are my relations with my family, with my neighborhood,
mm,
with my friends, with my colleagues, with the people in my state,
mm,
in my nation, in my country,
mm,
all over the world. What is my relation to that? So
mm,
that is the social aspect. So these are the challenges. I may feel alone and loose, but we need to give strength and look. So that is economic challenges are there. We plan in many ways. So we are successful. Sometimes we are not successful. We go on planning and the expenditure at the old age because we have as many added years which we did not think of that.
mm,
I may live for another 100 years. So next 25 years, so have I planned for economically? So
mm.
that is also a
When
challenge.
does that start? When do you start planning for that? When do you start thinking,
When you start earning,
oh, yes,
right from
start
that
putting
date,
pension funds,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
whatever it may be. And of course, it has got some limits.
Mm,
The laws and all these things and expenditures and availabilities. So maybe if I have to transplant something, my heart or something, it may take crores of rupees. Do
mm,
I have? I don't have. So some
mm,
sort of adjustment.
mm,
Also, I need to have. I don't have money. Let me go. Let it go. So economic adjustment is also necessary. My planning may fail. So all these are the challenges: physiological, emotional, social, relations with others and with the universe at the end. Then economical. All these
mm.
problems are there.
How you deal
Challenges.
with all of those with a positive attitude is.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, there is one theory by Erik Erikson.
Mm,
He states that we have the conflict at the old age, that is integrity versus despair. That's
okay.
what I described just now.
Okay.
So, is my ego integrated? Whatever I am expecting from myself,
Mm,
is it okay? Am I having fulfilled feeling? Whatever decisions I took in during my life, throughout my life, was there okay? So, what is my feeling? So, I have the unity with my ego concept, self concept.
mm,
That is one end. The other end is despair. That means I failed. I missed so many opportunities. I'm blaming myself. So that is a conflict. Erik Erikson says ego integrity versus despair.
mm,
So many times we are in the middle way, but as
mm,
far as possible, we should try to be at the ego integrity. Our expectations should match with what we are. What are our capacities, strengths, skills, knowledge? If that is there, then all the challenges will be overcome. And then there are so many concepts in ancient
mm,
mythology.
mm.
Yeah,
No, I was going to ask you. So this and inevitably happens, right?
yeah, yeah,
You are in a long relationship, especially in India, where people tend to have very long of a certain generation. They tend to have very long, successful partnerships. Going back to statistics, more than likely it's women who have a longer age. But
yeah,
anything it's all unpredictable. So one of the partners will be left, and even if you have mentally prepared yourself when the person goes, it still can be a shock. Are there any techniques? Are there any psychological techniques that will help? How do you not despair in loneliness? Yeah.
yeah. The first technique I told you, know oneself. So, for knowing oneself, there are many games, many activities, and many techniques also.
Ah,
I
mhm.
may not, I may not elaborate everyone, but some techniques are there. For example, writing diary. So that becomes the mirror for us. We can read
Mm,
it and go forward. Okay,
mm, mm,
that is one thing. As I told you, approach my birthday is approaching. Before that, I
mm,
should read the diary for the last year and plan for the next maybe 4 years. So that is one way. Peeping into oneself. Secondly, we can have deliberate, planned discussions with our loved ones
mm,
on which we have faith.
mm,
It may be our relative, it may be friend, it may be neighbor, it may be some our guru, anyone. So have some communication. Initial catharsis of emotions will be there. As you said, the widows are more in
mm,
number. That is also called uh, mortality gender paradox. Mortality gender paradox, because though the health wise the men are fed good, they are receiving good
oh,
medication, uh,
oh.
still the food a little less for the women.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. On
Yeah,
in every angle, right? In
yeah.
society,
Even
it's
the
always
medication, yeah,
slightly suppressed.
medication is
Mm.
a little less for women. Still, they live longer, and so many theories and models are there.
Uh,
All the scientists are confused with this, and they are trying
mm.
their own hypothesis and
Yeah, why
their
is that?
own
Right, okay.
models. But that's apart. The fact is that the widows are more. Let me tell you, the widows all over in the world, they are fine because they know ikigai.
Mm.
They know why I am living and
Mm.
how I need to be happy. But
Mm.
still, as you told, there may be a great trauma initially.
Mm. Mm.
The first thing is that have you planned for that?
Mm.
if you have accepted that any one of them is definitely going to, have you accepted? Have you thought about that? If yes, then the trauma will be little less. That is one thing. So we need to think that yes, my partner will be lost, anyone, and all the then psychological, residential, economic arrangements need to be done. One needs to be a little bit independent also. Whatever the areas I am dependent on my husband or wife, can I be independent on those? So try to have some ways. Still, you said that yes, it is a great trauma. Okay, then I will tell you, you should observe oneself and see three things. If you are not able to observe oneself, then you can request the relatives or the caregivers should look to the elder person. If there are some such signs in the elderly people, everyone should be alert. What are they? So, some such emotions like depression, fear, stress, if these emotions, if they are too intense, okay, intensely depressed. Secondly, if they are frequent, quite frequent, daily, and thirdly, the duration, how long they stay. For example, depression, there it is so intense that the person doesn't feel like having food. They don't want bathing also. So it is intense depression. It is frequent. That may be attack and it may go. But if it is frequently coming every week, that attack, that is a sign to for treatment. And the third one, duration. How long the depression stays? More than a week. So if intensity, duration, and frequency is at the high level of the emotions, depression, fearfulness, stress, and the daily living becomes difficult. So they are not taking good food, they are not exercising, they are not having sleep, they are not talking. So these are the signs, and they are not adjusting with other people. They are throwing temper and trampers. They are blaming, they are cursing oneself, or way of facial expressions. If you observe that, then we feel that yes, something definitely needs to be done and the actions can be taken. Okay.
So these actions, Vanita Tai, are basically seeking counseling would be the first step.
Psychological counseling, I will.
Psychological counseling.
If we
Why
have
do
the
you make that point? Psychological counseling do
so
explain.
these are the psychological trained counseling because there are various sorts of counselors.
Yeah, it could be somebody like a life coach who has no experience in
Yeah,
psychology.
yeah. So the psychological counselors know the theories, the models. They know how to go step by step. They have registration, government registration. That is important. Okay, and a few sessions. They have authority to administer the valid and reliable psychological tests. They are not just downloaded from the Google. They are valid and they can interpret them and then they can lead. If it is the too serious, then along with the counseling sessions, they may recommend to go to the psychiatrist. So psychiatrist will
For
have
internal
some
medicine or whatever.
medical help also, and both together. And even the psychological counselors, they can counsel the caregivers because the caregivers also are stressed. They feel burden like. Okay, I should not use the word burden, but it is the caregiving burden, and that also can be measured, assessed.
Yeah, it can tire them out physically and emotionally.
So how to get rid of that caregiving burden? So that is the good way. I will let you know that after 15 years of death of my spouse, one spouse, husband, the lady may be in a shock, unnoticed, unrecognized by the family members. But the family members should know that after 10 minutes talk, if the lady is going to the past, that is not a good
But
sign.
you know, Vanita, I have seen lots of examples in my people I know, family members who will. So how do you approach this person saying, "Let's take you to a counselor, a psychological counselor,
Yeah, yeah,
because they will more than likely brush it off and say, "मी ठीक आहे ग, मला काही नाही होते किंवा तसलं काही नको मला." So how do you deal with this? Because you as an outsider can see this person needs help, but
yeah.
that the person is not accepting. Um,
That is the problem with all the behavioral problems. Even the 10-year-old child, 50-year-old, every one person, they may not realize their own problem.
hmm,
That is the first thing. We say, usually I say that when the client or the person himself or herself realizes that I
hmm,
have some problem, 50% is achieved.
hmm,
So that is a very difficult task. With
hmm,
the old people, you may just have hold their hand and tell, so yesterday you didn't have good food, you didn't have good sleep. Shall we talk to someone else? Shall we
hmm,
take some advice?
hmm,
That will be good for you.
hmm,
Initially, there will be negation.
hmm,
Then you can cite some examples,
hmm,
and you should continue like that.
hmm. I
Someday
like this.
they will actually
I like this way that you suggested, which makes them feel as if it's there. Shall we?
cite some examples and let them accept that yes, I did not sleep well. Yes, I
Hmm.
did not eat nicely. Yes, I was just too, I did not feel like bathing even. I
Hmm.
did not feel like going outside. So
Hmm.
let them acknowledge yes,
Hmm.
yes.
And it's very important to be aware of how you're conducting yourself with the elderly. Because, for example, if I see that my mother hasn't eaten well, I will say, "Kai nahi, I saw you. Kai tu अर्धी पोळी खाल्लीस फक्त," rather than saying ki, you know,
What happened with you? Didn't you like the sabji?
it's
Was the
very
time not appropriate?
confrontational. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
what was the time not appropriate? Did you need some company? What happened? Did you
Hmm.
want? We should have some light
Hmm.
communication.
Hmm.
But then it is true that the caregivers also are stressful. The clock is ticking
Yeah.
minute by minute. Who is going to have some simple talk with elder people? That is
Hmm.
difficult.
Hmm.
That is also difficult. So we have to balance
Hmm.
both.
The other thing, Vanita Tai, as I was thinking about this topic also was, it's very important to differentiate between loneliness and solitude. That if the person wants to be left alone and they're fine, then leave them alone. They're not lonely. They're happy with themselves. It's a very fine balance to understand that, okay, they're healthy, they can manage themselves, and it's a very cultural thing. In India, for
Yeah.
example, in our cultures, if somebody is older, the way we show respect is you sit down. There's no need for you to move. I'll carry your bags. And I think in many ways we are actually diminishing their abilities by
Yeah,
doing that.
true, true.
Hmm.
So as far as possible, they are dependent. They are cooking, maybe going to the bank and making calls and having the profit of the technology, lot of
Hmm.
technology. It's well and good. It's well and
Hmm.
good. And we can just say to them, you can live with us. Whenever you feel that I should live with you, you are free to think. But we are
Hmm.
not forcing you. That decision is yours.
Hmm.
That is one way. Other way is like that. We need to observe our old people.
Hmm.
Just as I told you, if the intensity, duration, and frequency of not getting well and their well-being is at stake,
Hmm.
and then we should continuously communicate with them. And the old people like me, we are also very stubborn. Don't want to come to you. Every decision will be having, we need to weigh it.
Hmm.
Okay, what are the benefits and profits of one sort of decision, and what are the challenges
Hmm.
and negative things? So
Hmm.
every decision we can weigh
Hmm.
like that, and then go for the next decision.
The
Okay.
other challenge also, again, in the Indian culture is, I mean, it's very common for joint families in India. And then as you get older, and maybe not even when you're getting older, but that conflict happens. How does the family deal with the old person, and how does the old person deal with the family? That's another important aspect
Yeah, yeah.
of being involved but not being involved. In Marathi we have a lovely word which you and me understand, ludbud. So don't do ludbud but be involved. How do you go about doing that?
Yeah. So every family has got different story.
Yes.
We cannot compare one family with the other family.
Yeah.
So for old people like me, we should know what contribution I can make at home.
Mm.
Okay. And even the younger people also should know. So there should be a little bit distance between that. In our culture, what I was going to tell you,
Want to ask you that in details.
four ashram.
Yes.
So that is a simple and very root concept. Brahmacharya ashram, grasthashram, vanaprasthashram, and Sanyas ashram. I will not elaborate. But in vanaprasthashram and Sanyas ashram, we should be a little bit away from everything, from oneself, one's own likes, dislikes, this and that, our family, our loving people, my books, my ornaments, my children, little bit. So trayastha, detachment, that is a very good concept in Indian culture. It should start whenever we have entering into vanaprasthashram, and the last stage is sannyas ashram. Everything to be given up. So saying all these things is quite simple, but then gradually we should enter into that. And then when we will be able to enter into vanaprasthashram and sannyasashram, if we are paving the way to char purushartha, what are they? Dharma, artha, kama, moksha. So dharma means all the responsibilities, duties, whatever we do, right from the childhood, adolescent age, younghood, adulthood, everything, even at the old age also. Dharma, artha, we have some money with us. Okay. We have some
Assets,
house,
land, whatever.
assets, liabilities, whatever it may be. Then kama, we have lots of pleasures. We eat lots of things. We go for picnics, visit everything. We listen to music, so we follow our passion. And moksha. Moksha is that is maybe one spiritual concept in Hindu mythology, but for me, it is the liberation from the restricted self. So this is me. This is my. I owe this. This is my possession. My children. They are doing that. They are failing. So liberation from self. So myself should be greater and greater. I am not myself, my family, my neighborhood, my state, my country. Okay. Earth, Suryamala, Akashaganga, Ananta Akashaganga. So self, I am part of all this. So liberation from my body and my likings, my possessions, liberation from that. That is moksha. So these are the concepts if we try to practice. And then there are so many ways, techniques, as I told you, how to go about all this. You asked one thing about the ludbud. I realized that. So I'm not wanted in this. So am I reading myself? I'm reading others. They are giving some sorts of signals to me. Am I reading them? Still, I want to do this and that. So I'm not taking other signal. My granddaughters, Ajay, now keep quiet. Okay, fine. I'm not angry with them. They don't want me at that time with them. Okay, fine. I should respect them also. So I'm taking am I taking the signals from others? Then I will not interrupt anyone. I will be happy. The people around, the family members around will be happy. So every time I should read myself, read others, and adjust. There are different technologies, the mobiles and the videos and audios and all those things are there. And even in when I go to foreign countries, then there are the warmers and different sorts of crushers and freezes of different sort. I have to adjust with all those things. So it is not easy. But then if we read oneself, read others, it becomes a little bit smooth.
it's nice that you talked about the ashrams, because I was going to say to you anyway, one of my questions was, what do the shastras say? Two questions around the shastras. So what is the rough guideline around when do you start your sorry, not grihasthashram, your vanaprasthashram, and when do you get into sannyas, and what are the guidelines, what are the characteristics? And then lastly, around this subject, the last question also is, are there any techniques given in our shastras about how to deal with that particular ashram of life?
Your first question, the when to enter this ashram. Till I am able to contribute to myself, I will have growth ashram. I will cook food for others. Why not? Suppose I'm 70, 75, 80. I can cook food, I can wash this, and so I'm still in growth ashram. But
Okay.
when I'm not, my hand is streaming like this. I forget where the things are kept. I don't know what the test is expected. For that test, I am not able to cook. Then I should enter into vanaprasthashram.
Right.
Okay. Maybe I am able to mentor some people. So at home in the cooking, I'm in vanaprasthashram. Okay. But then I'm functional in, so for example, guidance, counseling, or maybe I'm ready to extend my expertise. So in that field, I'm in grihasthashram. I'm still working. So for one function, I may have one vanaprasthashram. For other function, I may be grihasthashram. I'm
It's
still,
all flexible.
yeah, energetic. And maybe the last stage when I am not contributing anything, I'm fragile, I'm being totally dependent. So that is the way to give up and saying, let go. So that is the stage. And we realize that. And that is the way we give up everything. And then the decisions are by our caregivers or by ourselves. Whatever we write in our living will, that will be followed. So, and the second question was there, how to go about it. The two things I'm just repeating. Try to read oneself and try to read others around you. What is the situation around you? You told the one incident that the older people in UK, the percentage of voting in any election, it is more. So they are responsible. They are responsible as compared to the young people. So that is a good thing about them. They should realize that. At that time, they should not enter vanaprasthashram or sannyas ashram. They should go with wheelchair for voting. So for different tasks, the ashram may vary. And many techniques are told in our culture as well as we psychologists. So I told you that knowing oneself, there are games and activities, writing diary. Another thing is that we can have one person around us. Okay, maybe family member, friend, or mentor, or colleague, or any person. Maybe even our grandchildren also. We can request them to watch me. So if I'm going wrong in some way, I will listen to you. My grandchildren, Ajay, don't do this. And I listen to them. Even my son and daughter-in-law, they say, oh, this is difficult for you. Please avoid doing that. I listen to them. So if some people who I trust are around, so nothing to worry about me. And I should not be adamant. Oh, I did that for years together. Why should I listen to you? If I'm adamant, then that is the problem. I need to trust to someone who are more experienced, who have more knowledge, though they are less in age. So there may be some group discussions, there may be role plays when we are having in groups. So these are the techniques. And profound technique is meditation. Meditation helps us to peep into oneself and think and listen to others. So meditation is a very profound technique. And many ways of meditation are now popular.
What happens? This is just curiosity. What happens if the wife is ready for sannyas ashram and husband isn't, or vice versa? Does that happen?
It might be happening. I will give a little low level example. So our children are abroad, and one of them feels that we should at least visit them sometime, live with them for a few months. One of them feels so, other one doesn't feel.
Hmm.
and then there is a fight,
Hmm.
and someone has to decide,
Hmm.
give up.
Yeah.
So these fights are going on.
Yeah.
So that is we call is teen payachi shariyat.
Oh,
So
okay.
they are hold together, and one has to
One
sacrifice
has to give.
or find out some golden mean. Maybe not every year, but maybe after 3 years.
Right.
Maybe not for 6 months, maybe for 3 months we can go. Some such situations every day, every moment are there. You must be also experiencing the same thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So thing in the old
Excellent.
age also.
Excellent.
Yeah.
One of the things that I wanted to ask you is you briefly, very briefly mentioned on the, is it the psychological development, the very first part that we were talking? You said maybe even after death it carries on. If you can slightly elaborate on that.
I haven't studied anything about that.
Okay.
So that is about afterlife. There are so many theories, so many philosophies around,
Hmm.
and let me mention there are a lot of literature available about near-death experiences.
Hmm.
So mrityu sparsha anubhav.
Oh, okay. That's what it's called in.
Yeah.
Okay.
NDE, near death experiences. There
Yes.
are some journals, there are some platforms to discuss about that also.
Hmm.
And what are the reasons, what sorts of
Hmm.
feelings they have.
Right.
Those
Right.
who are returned back from
Hmm. Hmm.
deathbed.
Hmm.
So they are declared as dead, but they
Hmm.
became alive. And what are
Hmm.
their experiences? So
Hmm.
many theories also are there,
Hmm.
and the theories also are accepted as well as negated.
Hmm.
I have discussed that in at
In the
length
book.
in the chapter.
In the book, right.
So
If anybody is interested in the books, then I'll share Vanita Tai's contact with them if
yeah,
you're interested in the books.
if anyone wishes to contact me, my email ID is there,
I will share that.
vanita.patwardhan@gmail.com.
I'll put that in the description as well, and I'll put it
Yeah,
on the screen as well.
yeah, yeah,
So, Vanita Tai, when people come for counseling, especially age related, can you give us examples of what sort of
yeah,
cases
yeah.
do you deal with?
So many cases are there. They are discussed in my Marathi book. Huh?
Okay.
So the first way is about denial. As you take,
Okay.
so I go on denying everything about me. So that is the denial state. Depression. How to overcome depression.
Mm.
So
That we discussed
counseling,
anyway.
yeah, that is also. Sometimes there is a problem of Alzheimer.
Mm.
Okay, Smriti Bhransh.
Mm.
So in that case, what different techniques are used? Okay, one wonderful example I can give you.
Mm.
One lady used to tell that, oh, I didn't have any food. You didn't give me any food. Actually, she
Yeah, she
had
just
lunch
forgot.
nicely, but she forgets everything. The psychologist pointed out that her auditory memory is intact, is
Auditory is listening memory.
listening memory,
Okay.
and the visual memory is impaired. So, what was the trick given to the caregiver? Whenever she will have food, they will make sound of some bell,
Okay.
okay, or the plates, tung tung, ting ting,
Oh,
or say something. So you are having the food, you are having the food by
gets
the lady.
auditory cues.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then her performance improved.
Oh, wow.
And later on, when she will ask for lunch, maybe after 1 hour or 2 hour, then the caregiver will give a remind. Oh, you heard that sound of the bell, and look, the plates are here. You heard the sound of that. So that was a wonderful intervention for that lady.
Wow.
Then family adjustment. And adjustment has got a peculiar word in psychology. It has got definition, it has got inventories to measure adjustment in the family, adjustment in the school, adjustment in the workplace. So there are wonderful ways how to adjust. So that will be there. Some old people are perfectionist, so for them counseling is also necessary. So they are very timely, they need iron clothes, and they can manage it when they are
Yeah.
healthy
When
and
they're able.
independent, but later on it becomes difficult. for them. So how to step a little back from the perfection. So that was one problem.
What do you say to these people who want a iron kurta or whatever?
That is the highest level. Yes,
Right.
it is good. But then there is a low level also. That is also good. Look at me. Now I have some not ironed. And there is a fashion, there is a
Oh,
fashion
okay.
of not having iron. Do you know that? Look at this video. Something
Oh,
like that. So
right.
that not ironed clothes should be respected, honored. They are also good.
Made
Some
attractive.
such many times care receiving is also a problem. The caregivers are quite okay, but as I told you, we old people are furious because we are helpless and we throw our anger on someone else. So how to receive the care, that needs to be told, and how they need to appreciate others, so that also can be done. And then there is a severe problem. The children are abroad or at some other place, and the parents are at the home place, and then there are so many problems they creep in, and how to deal with them. That is distance parenting of old people, when the next generation itself, herself, himself is getting old. So the people living in the other countries, they are approaching 60, 65. Their parents back home are approaching 90, and so many problems. So some such problems with old age creep in, and we are there to help them, as well as the medical persons are there, social workers are there.
If you could just give, let's say, 3 tips for people around seniors in how to give them that make their age worthwhile, and for them to realize that they matter. What would they be?
One thing is that what they can contribute. So accept their contribution. At least show that we are accepting. At least ask them advice. We may not follow their advice because the old people may not know the whole scenario. They know something partial, and accordingly they advise. Then praise them, acknowledge them, and give them opportunity to acknowledge. How am I looking? Just let me know. So at least they will say, "Oh, you are looking good, but you should wear no worry. This sari is okay. You are looking fine, but you are looking nowhere," because the old people have every time but some addition. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
So give the opportunity to appreciate them, and let them appreciate and acknowledge. So this is the second thing. Let me add to the third thing. They will have some problems. Okay, so they will not having some exercise. They will not eating good food. So they are not following healthy habits. So the caregivers need to analyze why is it happening so. We immediately start becoming angry, giving advice. We are not doing that. We are not doing that, and this and that advice. And I will not look into yourself. You are not listening to me. So instead, why is it happening to them? If they are looking so many biscuits and chocolates and this and that everywhere, they are tempted. They are human beings. Keep all such things which attract them. They should not eat away from them for their betterment. So avoid such things which are troublesome to them. Maybe we are having some cruise trip and we are planning. You need to come, you need to come. But if you know the body of my mother or some father is fragile and she may not acknowledge, don't put forth some such proposal. Plan in some different way that he will be also happy in some way or some other option. So do not propose some difficult situations for them.
Understand their situation.
Yeah, yeah. So these are a few tips I can give
Very
you.
good. Yeah. Last question is, what I would like you to do is, you've got such a huge span of career. If you could give us any instance that has stayed with you in your psychology career, or anything really.
So many things I can let you
More
know.
will do as well, but one
Yeah.
at least.
Many things in industrial scenario, organizational
Yeah, yeah,
scenario.
yeah, yeah.
At one factory, Hindustan Liver Limited, they called strike,
Okay.
and we were there for a soft skill training program, and the title of the program was leadership. And that was a very real challenge. Myself and my colleague Jagdish ji Bhatt, we were there, and that was a challenge. It came just at 8:30, and 9 o'clock we entered the room. That was a wonderful experience for us. What are the good qualities of leadership? What are the bad qualities of leadership? And what are the authorities doing? So we had discussions, we had theories and everything. And end of the day, strike was cancelled. Yeah,
Oh.
the people did not go on strike because all were the union leaders, old and new, and in our training session. So that was good. Similar situation also took place in another plant, Mahindra and Mahindra Nashik also, that is there. One incident, I had a training with some 10 years ago with middle-aged women on assertive behavior. 4 full days training, maybe from 10 to 5 or something like that. Till today, after 10 years or 12 years, those ladies see me, Vanita Tai, you made a lot of change in ourselves.
Mm.
We modified our behavior, we modified our relations. So that was a very, very good feedback for me. That yes, psychologists are of prime importance and
Mm.
they can make change in
Mm.
behavior. We say that स्वभावाला औषध नसते. That is a popular proverb. But we say yes, स्वभावाला औषध असते. We can modify the behavior. The first and foremost thing is the person should feel that I
There
need to
is
modify.
something that needs changing.
So 50% is done, and then
Mhm.
50% we are there.
Mm. Amazing,
So
amazing.
some such experiences are there.
And any instance with this elderly counseling?
Elderly counseling also, when I had some sessions with death and dying, group session, not a counseling,
Mhm.
but some people started weeping.
Oh,
So catharsis was there, and they had some communication with me for a long time, and they felt that yes, we are relieved.
oh.
Yes.
So they had bottled all that feeling up,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
this
yeah,
was all to do with death and dying.
yeah, yeah.
And it shows, like you said exactly, that स्वभावाला औषध
Yeah.
आहे.
Let me be very clear. It is not one-way traffic.
Hmm.
It is both way traffic. In the group sessions, group counseling sessions, as well as individual sessions, or maybe soft skill training programs, we also gather so many points.
Hmm.
We also learn many things
Hmm.
from our clients
Hmm.
and we grow.
Hmm. Any example?
So, one adult, it was away from Pune, and that was the example. Old, old person was very arrogant, and our counseling sessions were going on. After 2 3 sessions, he changed a lot, and then he himself became a volunteer for us, maybe mediator or volunteer. So he leaped from his stage to this one. He gathered people, he had some group, support group, and he leaped there. And
Wow.
he went ahead himself.
Excellent.
My client himself went ahead.
Wow, excellent. Vanita
That
Tai,
also.
just a clarification, not a question per se. Such a great, so many success stories actually.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So many
Brilliant.
are there.
Thank you so much for your time,
Yeah.
Vanita Tai. There is
Namaste.
a saying in Marathi called Gappa God. So Gappa are always sweet, and it was like just dipping into an ocean of wealth of knowledge, but just a little peek into it. But
Yeah.
it's amazing, and many a times psychological techniques can be looked upon as not as seriously. You would easily go to a doctor than a psychologist. And these examples really show that it's worthwhile. And of course, you've touched upon a chapter of life that is unavoidable for each of us. And how to deal with it, and it's more and more of a reality for quite a few of us now, more and more of us. So, no, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.